Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is October 18th, 2024. In this video, I'm reading to you a dream that my dad, who is 83, had on May 30th, 2024. I think you're going to find it interesting. It is time to bring it. I guess it's time to bring it forward. I mean, I keep thinking about this particular dream. So I'm just like, I don't know, Lord, is this what you want me to bring to the channel? So here's what we're doing. We're rolling with that. All right, y'all. Now, I do have some thoughts on the interpretation of it. And I, as always, invite you to help us understand and interpret in the Holy Spirit. So through prayer and petition to the Lord. Now, I have been praying about this. So I'm not just, just winging this and throwing it out here. I don't know. There's things in it. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to read that to you. I'm going to also read to you what I wrote down when I was worshiping on October 16th, 2024. So that was just like a couple of days ago. Now, instead of making a video about this word, that's the video of the steeple that I put on the channel. And we're just all loving that steeple. I mean, it's just so fun that it's lit up. In fact, took my dog to go get groomed down the road. Miss Deb grooms everybody's dogs. And she's fantastic. I mean, she goes to dog shows in New York. I mean, she's like one of us, but kind of not one of us. I mean, she's really a unique person. Anyway, I told her about the steeple. She's an electrician, like a very accomplished electrician. She's even worked on Hoover Dam. I mean, she's really interesting person. So, anyway, she said, wouldn't it be neat to fly over your town and see that steeple? I wonder what the pilots would think when they saw it. I'm like, ooh, I had never thought of it from that perspective. Anyway, so enough of that. I know y'all are probably tired of me talking about that, but I mean, y'all, it is like nothing happens in our town. So this is kind of like cool for us. So there's that. All right. So, I made a mistake in yesterday's video and said that it was Hezbollah's leader that was killed and it was Hamas's. I am so sorry about that. Once again, my brain goes faster than my mouth and I get all mixed up. And so I ask your forgiveness for that. I should have been more careful about this is not a news channel. All right, this is not a news channel, which made me feel okay about the mistake. And I know y'all are gracious people, so thank you for those of you who caught that and like, this girl, oh, well, she is who she is. So y'all are so nice to forgive. Now then, okay, let's go to this dream. And I'm just going to read it as best I know how to do. I'm going to read it like my dad was talking. So I will say I, and that is referring to my dad, who is a believer in Jesus Christ. And if you're not, now's the time to hook on, y'all. Time is running out. So repent and come to Jesus. All right. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Now, he has started having these dreams back in 2020. We did not even at that time connect that they were what we feel are divinely touched. I would not say these are prophecies. Maybe there are prophetic elements to it, but I would say that these are more parables to help us understand God and understand the times we're living in, and so forth and so on. That's what I think. Or I gotta be careful there. Y'all, I'm just saying. Okay, so here we go. This is what he told me to write down. And I go over there for coffee every morning, nearly every morning. I check on them every day, my mom and dad. They just live next door. So here we go. May 30th, 2024. There was going to be a gathering of cowboys to saddle up and go out and cowboy. I was going to be part of them. I wasn't dressed for it, though. I walked up and said, I'm going to be part of your group today. And they asked, can you ride? And I said, of course. So the head cowboy said, go with that guy, Fred. Now, I felt out of my element, like I was over my head. Like he was with a group of people that were just more advanced than he was. He went, the cowboy went and wanted me to saddle up. He went with the cowboy, and the cowboy wanted me to saddle up a horse. I wondered how I could get out of this situation. I finally asked, after putting on a blanket on the horse was really badly behaved. I finally asked the guy to do it. Then, let's see. Yeah, once again, he felt very much out of his element. Then there was a group of women getting ready for something over just a little bit away from him. And I thought it would be my out to go over there. I got over there, and they had like these styrofoam blocks, with stamps imprinting letters onto these styrofoam blocks by pressing them into the styrofoam. And they said they had to make names in it. So I had a list. They gave my dad a list. And so I had a list, and I said, I need an N. I pressed it into the block. Then I asked for an I. I pressed that. Then it was an R. And I asked, is this right? And they all said, yes, yes. Then it was a U and then an X. I looked over, and the cowboys were gone. And I felt I had missed out and didn't know how to, because I didn't know how to saddle the horse. Then the dream changed, and I got in a car, and I was driving on a narrow strip of road. There was a man following behind me, and it's like my dad could talk to him. And I said, stay on this strip or you will fall off into nothingness. I suddenly saw this huge ball of tar, T-A-R, big ball of tar in front of me. I drove through it, and it split into 3 more smaller tar balls. And I came to a highway, and it was packed full of old race cars. I couldn't get on the highway. Finally, I did, and drove to a Y, came to a Y in the road, and the man that was behind me said, we've gone in a circle. This is where we started. And I said, at least this will take us home. And that was the end of the dream. Now then, there are many things I don't understand about this dream. But I do believe it's touched by God in some way, shape, or form. And even though we don't know what these elements might mean today, in future we might know. Because in May, Iran wasn't so much on the stage as Iran is now, which I think is connected to this dream. So, first of all, cowboys and cowboying, that's our culture here where we live in the panhandle of Texas, all right? So, rarely, sometimes in feedlots, they ride horses. But mainly cowboys today just use pickups or four-wheelers or something like that. So this is interesting that they were saddling horses. What it made me think of were the horsemen in Revelation. And I know there are many ways to interpret the book of Revelation, all right? And I'm sure that you think your way is the right way. And that's the way it always is, y'all. But I just assure you, there are lots of many views. And do the best you can with Revelation by the grace of God. That's kind of, and I have my view of Revelation too. But I'm scared to death to tell you about it because I'm afraid y'all just shoot me. Somebody will shoot me down, you know. That's how Christians are sometimes, and we've got to be careful. But my views always are open to change based on how because I I want to learn. I don't know everything there is to know right now. I don't even know all the right ways, all the right things, all the right interpretations. I don't. I just am doing the best I can with what I have and where I'm at, and the Lord is helping me learn more and learn more accurately. And when we get face to face with God, I'm sure He's going to say, your very best effort was really lame. Even the smartest, most scholarly theologian on the face of the planet, the Lord's going to say, I'm sorry, you missed it on so many levels. I don't know. I think that, actually, I don't think any of those kinds of conversations take place. Okay, back to the dream. So I wonder if that's what the cowboys represent, are the horsemen in Revelation. Y'all tell me what you think on that. Now, my dad, once again, he would be out of his element. He is human versus whatever that heavenly, angelic, the seals being open, all of those things John saw in that vision. You know, my dad would be somewhat of an outsider. I don't know why the horse was badly behaved. Y'all tell me what you think of that. I find that odd. I cannot remember. I should have looked it up, and I did, but I did not write it down, what the name Fred means, or Frederick. I think it's German. I do think it meant something to do with God, godly something. So please put it in the comment section, or I'll put it in the description box. That's what I'll do. Y'all, I'll follow up and put that in the description box, okay? That'll be cool. That'll be cool. That'll be good. All right. That'll help everybody, maybe. And feel free to comment on that, too. That'd be good, too. Okay, so the women over there, a group of women versus the cowboys. I don't understand that. I don't know if that's church. I don't know if that's just more human and weakness. I don't know if it means anything, the gender change or the gender difference. But whatever they were doing, they were pressing things down into styrofoam blocks, letters that were going to spell names, okay? That is when, you know, when my dad was telling me this, I was like, this is amazing. What's the name? What is it going to spell? And when he told me the letters that were N-I-R-U-X, I was like, that spells Nyrux, and that's nothing. I don't know what that is, and you know. But after some time has gone by, and after I've sat on this for a little bit, I wondered if these letters represent the first letters of countries that are going to have an oppressive, impressive stamp on us in this time we're living in. Does that make sense? Because they were like pressing them, molding them, shaping them. I mean, it would. So that's what came to my mind. And these are the countries. The countries are, could be, here's what I was thinking, y'all. Y'all tell me. The N, North Korea. The I, Iran / maybe Israel, maybe both. The R is Russia. The U, United States, Ukraine. That's what came to my mind. And the X would be China. Okay, because I associate X with the Chinese president. So that's what I was thinking, okay? So when the dream shifts and he's in a car, I think car versus horses or whatever is faster. Like things are happening faster now. And the or the narrow way, believers are on a narrow way. I mean, the Lord tells us that. And y'all stay on the narrow road. Don't fall off one way or the other, because that's darkness. Stay on the path. And when he saw the big ball of tar, I don't know exactly what that represents. Darkness, stickiness. I mean, I don't know. And it divides, so it multiplies when we go through it. So maybe the darkness we're having to go through is only going to multiply and get worse. I don't know. What do y'all think? Also, the race cars on the highway, the old race cars, I don't know what that means. I wondered, I thought the race cars just mean it's going faster now. It's speeding up. Things are accelerating is what it feels like. Time and these events are happening very quickly now. So that's what came to my mind. Y'all tell me what you think on that. They came to a Y in the road, and the guy behind him, which I don't know if that's an angelic figure or what, you know, said, we've gone in a circle. This is where we started, which I wonder is like, I mean, when you look at history, and Solomon even tells us in Ecclesiastes that time repeats itself, things repeat themselves. And I mean, we've gone in a full circle. Where we're at now is very similar to where we were at the beginning of World War II. And if you go back further, which I love history, but I'm not a scholar in history at all. But if you go back any further, you see these patterns of war. And you see these patterns that happen over and over again. And we've gone full circle. I mean, it's happening again. We've done this before. We've played this song before. This war song that we're hearing now. These drums of war that are beating so loudly. And we've gone in a circle. And my dad says, and so the guy said, this is where we started. And my dad said, at least this will take us home. So does that mean we're at the end? We're at the end of the end times? We will find, time will tell. Time will tell. We're closer to it than we were yesterday. That's kind of how I approach it. Y'all know I'm not the one that's been given, like, I'm not supposed to figure all the times and dates out. The Lord has told me, and I don't know if that's because I'm an obsessive thinker. Could be. But the Lord's told me, look, me. I can't speak for everybody else listening. But what he's told me is you don't need to know the times. You can look at the signs and see the signs and put things like that together, obviously. I mean, we did that. They did that when Christ was born and the Messiah had come, and they connected all the dots, right? Some people did. But for me, the Lord's like, I need your faith. You don't need to sit and wait for the date that you think is the date, because that will not accomplish what I want you to accomplish. I want you to accomplish this, 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 and this, and it's not telling everybody what date to be looking at. Now, that's just me. If you have other things, I would never presume to tell you what you have heard and not heard from the Lord. So that's that. Okay, so that's that. All right, so I want to just read this to you, but before I do, please post your prayer request in the comment section, and please give whatever you think about interpretation. I do think that those countries are the big players on the chessboard. That's kind of what I think. And back in May, the chessboard didn't look like it does now. That's my thought. Okay, so here's what I wrote down on October 16th, 2024. Repent and turn to me. Stop scurrying around looking oh so busy, oh so successful. Your empty movements are in vain. Your steps without me are directionless. That's kind of like those speeding cars. I hadn't thought about that till now. Maybe that's what they represent, the people just going 100 miles an hour without even knowing what's really going on. Interesting. I did not mean to say that. That just came to me right while I was talking here. Okay, here we go. Your empty movements are in vain. Your steps without me are directionless. The enemy plays you like a pinball machine. He keeps you bumping into walls, falling into pits, rolling without a driver. Oh, 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 how foolish the lost are, for they are completely unaware. They are being played. You who know me, you who follow me, be aware of the aimlessness of the unbelievers. Do not become entangled in their ways of darkness. They think they are in charge of their own destiny, never seeing the puppeteer pulling their strings. Evil is their master's motives. your nation. The nations of the world are ruled by the evil one. If a nation refuses to believe Jesus is the Son of God, the only way to the Father is through the Son, then they belong to the enemy's camp. Have nothing to do with them. For you, my remnant, are citizens of the kingdom of heaven. You abide in me and I in you. Pray for the puppets of the evil one, for his ugly storm of death is about to hit the earth. And that was it. I do think there's a lot of parallels in that, which I just now was putting together. I'm just going to leave that, though. I'm not going to expound on that. So, y'all, remember, any nation that does not believe Jesus is the Son of God is not a believer. I mean, they're not believers as a general thought, okay? So let's keep that in mind. And we know that there is the remnant. We know that God has always had his people. God has always had his people. And Christians who are true, faithful believers that are all in for Jesus are his people. And that's a process, y'all. So sometimes it's a maturing thing. Sometimes at the very beginning of your walk with Jesus, you don't understand being all in for Jesus. That's okay. Let the seed cultivate. Let the seed grow in people's hearts, or maybe in your own heart. And you need to water it, and you need to give it sunshine, S-O-N, sunshine, and you need to just let that process take place. You're not going to begin your walk with Christ as a giant in the faith. It takes time, and he knows that. He just loves that you're walking with him. He just loves that. All right, I'm going to leave that with you. You do what you need to do with it. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.